Hey everyone, it's time for video review number 4, Spider-Man the movie game for the GameCube. I really enjoyed this game back in 2002, but after spending about 6 hours with it again, is it still fun? Well, that's what reviews are all about, right?
Should've stayed home, kid.
If you've seen the movie, then the plot won't be much of a surprise to you. Fight through hordes of gang members, destroy battle robots, chase Shocker through the sewer. Oh wait. None of that stuff was in the movie. Oh well, you will eventually encounter...
No, wait. Let me guess. The Emerald Elf?
the Green Goblin, and you'll end the game fighting him on that bridge. All previous joking aside, the common Spider-Man objectives are here, and nothing is going to feel out of place, for Spider-Man anyway. The tie-ins with the movie don't make quite as much sense. Giant battle robot? Come on! The game is mostly a brawler, but there are a couple of stealth missions and several swinging stages. The swinging stages are okay, and the stealth stages are a step below that. They aren't bad per se, more like tacked on. The stealth elements are just not as fleshed out as the rest of the game. After a few requirements are met, the Green Goblin can be used as a playable character. It's not Norman Osborn, but Harry who dons the mask. Sadly, Harry says most of Spider-Man's one-liners, and the plot makes even less sense than before. It is fun to play as the Goblin, but the stealth missions become much less stealthy, with a guy in a bright green costume riding around on a glider throwing pumpkin bombs all over the place.
Life sure is strange sometimes. No matter how much you want to hold on to a moment, you can't stop time from moving on.
General Slocum has given Oscorp a week to prove that we can develop a working serum.
Tobey Maguire and Willem Dafoe reprise their roles from the movie and supply some pretty good voice work. But Bruce Campbell as the tour guide steals the show in terms of voice acting. The other actors deliver decent but overall forgettable performances. I do enjoy Shocker's bad lines though.
Don't panic, boys. It was only a matter of time before we had to deal with Spider-Man. Let's take care of security and get some hostages. We've got a...
This game has a lot of modes and options to dive into, but instead of talking exhaustively about them all, I'll just show some clips. This is what I consider to be the best cheat in the game, and I think it's completely fair. After all, Spider-Man has unlimited webbing in the movie. The gameplay is a bit of a mixed bag. Brawling is okay for one-on-one matches, but most of the time you're surrounded, and bullets really hurt in this game. Plus, sometimes the combos you try just don't work. There is a definite rhythm to the button presses to create the combos, but when Spider-Man is surrounded, I found myself either web-zipping to the roof and spamming impact webbing, or just using the web dome. The game on normal is fairly tough, and the game by its difficulty encourages the player to enter a couple of cheat codes. What I find more annoying is the camera. Instead of running with the camera, Spider-Man will keep running in the same direction, either right into a wall or right into enemy fire. But even if Spider-Man comes away unscathed by the enemy, I was always temporarily disoriented. On the chasing swinging levels, Spider-Man either doesn't swing fast enough to keep up, or he will stick to a wall when you don't want him to, which results in failure. And I'll just go ahead and say it right now. The loading screen takes a long time. The stealth stages could have been very cool, but they just aren't. You think you're hidden, but the guard will spot you anyway. The guards are just too strong, and it's just more annoying than it should be. That being said, I actually kinda liked the first stealth level, but I just wish it was executed better. The graphics are pretty good for an early cycle GameCube game, especially the detailed character and costume models for Spider-Man and Green Goblin. The cinematic cutscenes are stiff when looking at the current generation, but back then they were awesome, and they still look pretty good today. Maguire and Defoe's CG models capture the likenesses of the two actors well. The baddies look very generic and don't look near as polished as the two leads. That's disappointing because Spider-Man and Green Goblin look so good in this game. The environments are also nice overall. Nice detail with the skyscrapers and the traffic on the street below. Odd rat mechanics? I mean, look at this thing, it looks like a wind-up toy. That's not what rats do. With the exception of Oscorp Labs, the locations are varied and nicely detailed. In my opinion, the lab is just drab and boring. What can I say about the music in this game? You get the same few themes over and over again, and none of them are that interesting. The tracks are also pretty short and they loop constantly. It isn't bad music, but it just isn't endearing either. The sound effects are satisfying. The web sound effects are present from the movie. A punch that hits a human sounds, well, like a punch that hits a human, but it's more cartoony. Metal sounds, flamethrowers, bombs, glider sounds, it's all good. Sometimes the game will drop a sound effect. Also, be prepared to hear the same one-liners over and over again. From Spider-Man, to the villains, and even the civilians. To summarize, this is still a fun game, but it is a little bit on the short side. It has 22 stages, long loading times, but plenty of spider action. It also needs to be said that several of Spider-Man's techniques were taken from the PlayStation 1 and 64, PC, and Dreamcast title Spider-Man, which is also known as Spider-Man 2000. This game does have its share of flaws, so I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, and recommend that Spider fans pick this one up if you missed it the first time around. It is a level-based game and not a sandbox title, but it does move at a quick pace. Playing the game as the Green Goblin is fun, and listening to Bruce Campbell's lines is just great. That's all for me. Until next time, later.
Get the gum out of your ears and listen good. Touch the question mark directly in front of you. Well, good to see that you can follow basic instructions. Now, these question marks will teach you how to use your powers. Check out the compass. Your compass will point straight towards your next objective. Up on the compass means forward to you. You follow me? Well, stop following me or I'll have you arrested.
Will the owner of the white Dante van, license number Shock Me, please remove your car from the handicapped spot? Loser.